So I'm Vasily. I work for the Science and Technology Facilities Council in the UK. I will say a few words about my organization later on. But I also work for the European project called FREA, and what I'm going to report is actually an outcome of that European project. So FREA is a Horizon project. It's a part of EOS program, European Open Science Cloud program. It is all about persistent identifiers for anything, not only for traditional entities like publications, but also for research instruments, for people, for organizations, for anything that is involved in the research life cycle. So this is our website. You are welcome to visit it. FREA ends by December this year, but we are going to sustain certain things, and among them, which may be of interest to this congregation, is what we call PID Forum, which is a social network for anyone interested in persistent identifiers in research of any kind. So you're very welcome to join discussions in this forum, contribute something. The knowledge hub of FREA is also hosted there on this social network, pitforum.org. So you're very welcome there. So FREA is much concerned, the project is much concerned about new persistent identifiers types, as I mentioned, organizations, grants, experiments, instruments. And it delivers also pilot applications that demonstrate the use of new persistent identifiers types, as well as more traditional ones, like for bibliography. And this Open Science Portal we develop is one of such pilot applications that the project develops. So what is, in essence, in a nutshell? It is a new service, a kind of overlay service over existing institutional repositories, and also integrating some links to quality repositories that are beyond our organization walls. To give you one example, this may be, this is a Cambridge structural database for crystallography data. It is highly esteemed database. We do not support it ourselves, but we are going to create links from our repositories to that external database. So we want to accumulate our research outcomes in any form, be it publications or data records or software records, if they are quality records, well curated, and ideally bearing some kind of persistent identifier on them. So why we are doing it? This is the last bullet point. We are doing it because we hope to raise our research visibility with it and demonstrate our adherence to the principles of open science, basically. So what functionality we want from this new service? I would say two main flavors of functionality. First of all, we want universal search across all our records of science, be it bibliography records, be it data records, be it records about software, be it records about our funding we supply to universities, etc. So a kind of Google, if you like, across all these records of science, irrespective of their nature. And second functionality that we want to develop our capability in what is usually called storytelling or data storytelling. This is quite fancy word, quite commonly used nowadays. And we want, using our records of science, to tell stories about open science and make these visualizations as engaging as possible. This is in fact important not only for general public, but also our funders. We are funders ourselves, but there are bigger funders who give us money in the government. And of course, we want to first demonstrate our engagement with the general public, but with researchers as well. We feel this is good. Some visual tools will be good for engaging not only with lay public, but with professionals as well, and with funders. So I do not have time to demonstrate you something, although I could in principle. Here are a few screenshots of what we're doing. Top left is just web interface searching across our repositories, as I said. Top right is a kind of a graph visualization for our funding, where we co-funded certain projects, or two projects. These red hexagons are projects co-funded by ourselves with some other funders in the UK. Bottom left is the breakdown of citations of
Time's up, Vasily, so finish it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is just examples of visuals we're trying to create on top of this integrated portal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're welcome visit this PID forum and join all conversations about persistent identifiers.
Thank you, Vasily. There is one question from Michael Sperber. Will there be an API for the universal search, he asks?
Yes, this is our intention, and not just API. We aim at a specific kind of API. We're thinking of building a GraphQL API in order to return graphs, all things connected and assigned with persistent identifiers that will enable external developers to build their own services on top of it. But it will come, I would say, after FREA ends, project ends. STFC is happy to sustain this effort with our own money, and we hope to get something in public by April next year.
I think there's time for one more question. What software components are you using, and will the portal be open source?
Yes, it will be open source. The software, the prototype of it is going to be open source, because everything that is funded by European money should be open source. The technology is open source. We use the community edition of Neo4j graph database as a backend, and we use open source libraries, JavaScript libraries for visualizations. So visualizations front end will be open source as well.
Okay, thank you.